Welcome to the Crafty Boys. This is Who Cares What episode, and it's still COVID. And
episode 672.
Sure,
just say.
that works for me.
Sure.
And it's Christmas time, boys and girls. It was sort of Christmas time in our last episode, but it's 2 weeks later, and now it's really Christmas time. Pardon me while I start some online shopping. So I'm really zoomed in. I'm not quite in this time zone yet. I'm feeling similar to Locke, I would think at this point. But how's it going, boys? I noticed, actually, out of all the Christmassy things going on, Alan, you, of course, are really you're overdoing it now. Well, okay, here's what I'm seeing with Alan. Here we go. So let's check this out here. All right, so Alan, you are you've got the microphone positioned within the camera, which is really kind of artistic, and then you've got yourself sort of centered, and then you have, if you move your head slightly to one side, we will be blinded by the Christmas tree. I see all of the stockings over the fireplace.
No. That reaffirms. It doesn't explain. That was just. I took it for granted. But the glow coming from Alan, his nimbus.
He is our avatar.
You should. I wish I could show you guys my setup right here, because it's not very glam. Like the microphone placement is not artistic. It is out of necessity, because I have my my laptop here on those baskets you use at the grocery store, the plastic ones.
Oh yeah,
we have one of those here, so I have that sitting on my coffee table thing. Okay. And with the laptop resting on that, and then I had nothing to put the microphone on, so the microphone is sitting on the palm rest on my laptop.
Got it.
Well, hey. I'm sitting in a chair. So.
Well, it looks great.
I was going to say, you would never know. I mean, it's like most, live streaming of any kind. It's like, as a Zoom call at work. One of us will get up and eventually we'll be in our underwear. Although I think we pretty much are. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, there you go. So what is the show about? We sit around, we drink beer, and we talk about whatever the hell pops in our minds. And this week, actually, let's start with you, Dave. Dave, what are you drinking this evening? You are drinking the blood of virgins?
Yeah.
Oh, Virgil's.
I had to get this for the label because it was just awesome.
I gotta say, that's quite impressive. So that is some root beer soda.
He's a very happy man with a pipe. Oh! I think it's getting a little better. Yes. Couple of children's that.
Why is the boy so celebratory?
He likes his root beer, man.
What's coming out of his butt? Oh, he's sitting on
a stump.
He's sitting on a stump.
I think that's a stump or tree, whatever. Maybe an artistically cut piece of log. I think that's maybe what it is.
It definitely looks like a stump of some sort that looks like it's been
I think you're right. I think
gone
it's
to town on.
Yep.
I originally thought you had like a club foot or something that's like huge.
It looks. I don't know. He looks very.
He does look very happy.
German. He looks very German.
They do look. I mean, look at them.
Those are like
the beard is.
That's almost child abuse. Those mugs.
Drink this and your pancreas will die. What exactly? Where is this from? Where is this particular product from?
Virgil. You know what? I've had it so long, I don't even remember where I got it from.
It doesn't say where it's imported from on the bottle.
Virgil's
actually, soda? Okay. So let's see if it gives me any kind
zero. Oh my lord! Zero sugar soda. What is this garbage?
There isn't
zero
no sugar
sodas.
I don't know.
Does it say zero sugar?
No.
Oh wait, hang on.
It uses cane sugar. Uses cane sugar.
So anyway, I'm going to find out who these this company is. Great drinks don't need fake ingredients. We obsess over our recipe process. Drink smart, drink well. Drink smart, drink Virgil's. They're really about the zero sugar.
It says it's okay.
Where? Okay,
it
there's no
says
history
cane
about
sugar.
who these people are.
It's
Okay.
handcrafted. It's naturally bold taste, and it contains no artificial flavors, caffeine, or GMOs.
Does it indeed satisfy all of those criteria?
Well, the actual ingredients: sparkling filtered water, cane sugar, natural flavors, caramel color, citric acid.
Citric what?
Citric acid.
Oh, acid.
Yes.
Yeah,
I missed the
every bottle's got a
Citrops.
little bit of acid in it.
Right? Yeah, this was something that was actually designed by Owlsley, and if you get that reference, that's fucking amazing. But anyways, yeah. So this came down to us from like the mid '60s or so.
Okay, so don't keep us in suspense. How do you like it?
It's decent. Yeah.
Decent. Another glowing review from Dave.
This
Actually,
doesn't suck.
No, it is really good. It's not stupid sweet. It's smooth, goes down easy, all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't pass mustard with the really clean eating crowd, because there's still fake color in it. So
Right.
this clearly doesn't come from Europe.
Did you say pass mustard?
I did, yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. Hey,
yeah.
Egg salad.
So
So there you go.
So Virgil's root beer was originally created in 1994 by Edward and Jill Crowley of the Crowley Beverage Co. I cannot find any original, like, where they're actually based out of, or where they were based out of, but it looks like Massachusetts. But of course they were bought out in 99 by a different company, which looks like it might have been bought out again. But this is actually quite interesting. The zero sugar soda is based on a proprietary natural sweetener blend containing stevia, monk fruit, and something I cannot pronounce. Erythritol? That really a natural one? Really? That seems like that would probably kill you. 60 to 70% as sweet as sucrose. Almost non-caloric, does not affect blood sugar or cause tooth decay, but you will grow a secondary set of genitals.
Just a mild side effect.
So that's really, I've actually never seen that before, where you have a company trying to say, hey, we don't want to use aspartame. We don't want to use what's that other, comes in the white, or the not white, the yellow packet things. Sucralose, not sucralose. Is that, no? That's not no. It's called something else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But essentially, they're actually trying to make something natural-ish.
Yeah.
I guess the other ones, are organic compounds. So I guess
you remember that crazy stuff that we ate that made everything taste sweet?
Sugar?
No. What is
sugar?
That? What was that stuff like? The buddy of yours that does what with the 3D printing and that.
What? 3D printing?
Do you not remember you, Allie, and I going over there, and they had this weird thing that you put in your mouth that makes everything taste sweet after that?
Right. You're talking about Jeff. That's right. I forgot all about that. Where it was like some sort of candy or something that was really, I want to say it was sour, but I don't think it was sour. And then you would drink soda and it would like really make it incredibly sweet. I have no idea.
Anyway. Yeah, so
that would have been so cool, though.
Sweet and sour is hackable, so that's the news for all of you freaks out there that think that that's a good idea. So I want to dive into to what I'm drinking this evening, if I may.
Let's dive in.
All right. This is a Scotch ale from Chatham, Ontario, at 9% alcohol per volume, which is strong for a Scotch ale, making me a little suspicious that this is maybe what they generally call malt liquor.
I don't know. I've had a lot of Scotch ales that are getting near there.
Yeah. It says on the tin, authentically crafted with Scottish-grown Golden Promise barley to showcase a rich and full-flavored malt profile. Additionally aged on American oak to impart a delicate yet complex texture with a velvety smooth finish. So I wouldn't have thought that in Chatham, Ontario, the smart thing to do would be to import your barley from Scotland and your oak from the United States. Anyway, we shall find out what this tastes like. So here we go.
Maybe they just had a Scottish guy grow it.
Yeah, maybe.
No, they indicated the barley was from Scotland, because we all know that Scottish barley is the. But anyway, let's see if it makes a difference. Well, as you can see, it looks sort of like you would expect a Scotch ale to look.
I don't know if it's the lighting lock, but it looks a little bit light to me.
Well, let's get the light nice up and close. It's maybe on the lighter side of what I'd expect. Yeah.
It's not my turn yet, Peanut Gallery. I just had a visit from an angry Peanut Gallery going, "Where's my beer?"
Dark. Either actual McEwen's Dark or the crazy thing that they brew in Quebec. I'll tell you, flavor profile wise, this is more like the crazy nonsense they brew of that, that alternate, Doctor Who episode of what they call McEwen's.
It looks very amber to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, like the Scotch ale that I used to have.
Sweeter than I'd like, but I was expecting that. You would. It does come off a little salty, like a butterscotch, though.
See, most Scotch ales that I've come across have been like black.
Yeah. I mean, actual McEwen's, if you're, in Edinburgh or Newcastle, what they have on tap is probably about that color, and probably not as strong in flavor if I'm recollecting correctly. And I doubt very bloody seriously that it's 9%. This is definitely this is a new world concoction, whatever this is. But it's. I think maybe there's such a thing as a new world wee heavy, and I think maybe that's what this is.
Okay. All right.
I still don't understand why they bring the barley from Scotland and the oak from the United States.
Well, let me ask you, Locke, how much was that?
How much was it? I think this was
did the price reflect the fact that they
3.5? I would say.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, if they're importing it that far, you would think that it would cost a lot.
You'd think there'd be a mighty surcharge, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Maybe they smuggled it.
It was smuggled into the country by reindeer, but it was up the reindeer's butts.
I'm pleased to say that the finish overall, it doesn't linger with that sort of sickly sweet thing when it finishes, it finishes.
Right. Thumbs up.
So anyway, I'd say if you want to get good and drunk, this is proper.
All right.
For that project,
Sweet
All right.
cocktail. All right, Shane, do yours. So you can give
my
the
turn.
peanut
All right.
gallery some.
So the peanut gallery doesn't come back. Okay. Well, tonight I am trying it. I went over to the liquor store and this afternoon, and I found this. I've never seen it before. I think it's probably newish. Hipster Haze with Santa Claus on the front, rocking the East Van branding there with the cross. Apparently, it's a hoppy ale.
Julian's around to get mad at that.
Exactly, it won't be real beer. But this actually is interesting. It's a 6.4% alcohol by volume. It's a strong beer, and it also says at the very top, it is a nitro shake and pour hard. And you were saying you've heard of this. Tell me more about what you've heard.
Yeah, well, all I've, insofar as I've heard of it, what I've seen of it is more the point. When I was shopping for this evening's beverages, I noticed that there was a product along similar lines. The idea, it was they had a different language for it, or said a different word about it, but some sort of alternate mechanism for a nitro beer. And it wasn't the Guinness technique where they have the dropper or whatever it is.
I'm rolling this one back and forth, and I don't feel anything in there. Like, I don't feel any nitro capsule thing.
Yeah. My understanding is it's not mechanical. It's they've somehow imbued the liquid with nitrogen such that when you shake it, it becomes gas.
Okay, well, I am nervous about this one, so I gotta put on my weaponry here.
Yeah.
There. Got my Canadian drinking hat. And so I have to shake it to activate this thing.
Shake it hard.
All right, I'm shaking it.
Show us on camera.
All right, that's enough. I'm going to open it over here just to get away from the desktop.
You're beaming out.
That's okay. That definitely sounds like a shaken beer. Ooh, it's fragrant.
What's that? Is it spraying around everywhere?
No. It just made its presence known. My hands are covered in beer, but let's see.
Well, they probably don't expect you to open it up over a computer.
No, I doubt that. Hey, Peanut Gallery, are you happy now? Okay. What do you grab one there? Take your pick. You're taking that. There you go. There you go. All right, so the Peanut Gallery is happy, and now here's what it looks. Oh, of course, it beams out.
For a stout, that's really light.
Does it say it's a stout? No, it's a hoppy ale. Like,
hoppy ale. I thought you said it was a stout.
No, it's the nitro part.
Okay.
Did I say stout? I didn't mean stout.
I thought you said stout. But
so here we go. So it's a sort of
very
hazy IPA color.
Yeah, the head on it looks nitro-ish.
It definitely does. Yeah. It is very hoppy. I enjoy this. It smells very much like something I would like. Well, that's quite tasty. That's very northeast. Actually, it's got a kick to it too.
So
I have to go drink this. I'll be back later.
So what is that it's got a nitro texture on a flavor that you're saying is like a Northeast IPA. Now,
It tastes very much like a Northeastern IPA. Like it's not.
So are we talking?
Yeah.
Give me a picture. Is it more citrusy, or is it more?
To me, I always associate Northeastern, like Northeast IPAs, as being smoother. Like, but I'm not talking about
Is it juicy as they?
Yes, yeah. It's sort of, it's got that sort of level of you can taste the hops, you can taste a bit of flavor of everything else, and then on top of that, you have another layer of smooth hops. It's what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say blended. Like it's very, very even.
Is it
Like
pina colada-ish?
Yes,
Huh.
that's a good way to describe it. Because
okay,
like there are some beers like Fat Tug, for example.
Yeah.
When you have a Fat Tug, it's like the hops have been wrapped around a baseball bat and they've been smashed into your mouth, and then after a little while you get that kind of even flavor afterwards, where this is very, here you are, if you would like to have some of these hops here, it's just going to gently pour them into your mouth. And that's sort of where I go east to west, where the stuff that we see over here is very much it's so heavy on the top end, hop flavor wise, that it kicks your ass. And then but this is a sneakier beer, which to me is, I always think of this as the further you go east, the sneakier the beer is, because then you get to like Guinness land, and suddenly, because I have a Guinness and it's like drinking water. I don't even feel like I'm drinking beer. It's so well crafted that you're like, I'm just going to drink 4 of these right now because I'm really thirsty, and then after that you're on your ass, and you're sort of confused why. This, I sort of, the East Coast hoppy beers definitely are in that sort of realm. So anyway, it's I'm not describing this very well. It's very even. West Coast hoppy beers, I find, are heavy in the hops department, which is totally fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that it's a little more sneaky what it brings in. You get the hop flavor, but it's more well rounded, and I don't know. It's how they do them.
Sweet? Is it sweet or is it dry?
Sweet.
Sweet. Okay.
So anyway, I like it. I now here's the thing. R&B, of course, is, I could walk 4 blocks that way and I would be at their brewery, but I haven't seen this one around. I'm assuming this is a seasonal because of, considering the Santa Clausy kind of thing on the label. But I've never been unhappy really with their product, but I don't have it that often either. So I mean, compared to like Parallel 49 or Red Truck, or not Red, wow,
Blue Truck,
basically
Blue Buck,
those kinds of beer, like you have them quite often. So that kind of product, the Parallel 49s and the Red Racer. Red Racer was what I was trying to think of.
What's the alcohol content? Because right now I'm appreciating that you're appreciating.
6.4%.
Okay, yeah, that's solid.
So, but here's the thing: it doesn't taste like there's alcohol in it.
Yeah.
But this is with the exception of a small one yesterday, this is the first beer I've had in like a week and a half. So.
Oh,
I see. Interesting.
I didn't have any beer when I was traveling.
Well, how did you get through airports?
Sorry?
Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels.
Actually, no, wait a second. Actually, that's not entirely true. I did have a Stella coming back. So I did actually have one at the airport. Yes, that is exactly what I had. Okay. But anyway, on to Alan. What are you drinking tonight, sir? Or did you tell us already?
All right, so I'm having a Christmassy kind of beer. So I don't know if we've done anything from these guys before, but it's from Deep Cove Brewing in North Vancouver. And it is their Gingersnap Brown Ale.
Cool.
So it's an interesting beer. So it's got flavors of cinnamon, molasses, ginger, cloves, that kind of thing. This is it here. It is a brown ale, as it states. Comes in at 6.4%, or pardon me, 5.7%. Sorry,
how sweet is it?
Not very. It's pretty dry.
Okay, all right. That's
yeah.
You're starting to turn me into I think this is something I might like.
Yeah, possibly. I wish the flavors were a little bit bolder, to be honest.
Okay.
It's kind of getting in the neighborhood of a winter warmer. Like a
winter warmer?
A winter warmer. So say Hoyne makes their gratitude beer every year. There is Bridge puts out Santa's Sack every year,
which I have not seen yet.
I have.
Have you? Okay, so it is around.
So it is out there, and it's sort of like a spicy kind of warming ale kind of flavor. This is kind of like getting into that territory, but really, if that's what you're going for, you should get one of those, preferably Bridges Santa's Sack. But this is pretty good. I don't know if it makes me want to like. I was expecting something to be like, say, a gingerbread man or Gingersnap cookie or something like that. It doesn't really taste like that. It tastes more like a winter warmer, but it's still enjoyable. The head has some nice lasting power to it. It's not thick. It's pretty thin.
I'm noticing that, yeah.
But it's there. It sticks to the side of the glass. Very nice presentation. Mouthfeel is good, a little bit thin. But interesting flavor profile with the cloves, and I don't know if I really detect the cinnamon so much. I'm getting a lot of cloves. A little bit of the ginger. It's enjoyable. I don't know if I'd have more than one in a sitting.
I find that with a lot of holiday seasonal beers at this time of year, because it's there's been so few. Like,
it's sort of like a one and done kind of thing.
Exactly. I've had Mr. Needles, and I'm done now. Not having that again until next year. Although this year I'm not having it at all. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, count your blessings, right?
My usual complaint with the seasonal department is that whatever it is, it'll be overly sweet. For some reason, seasonal is a reason to throw sugar at things. But
well, exactly. I mean, I have the same issue. Although with the stuff that Alan and I have done for the past 4 years of our like, advent calendars, what would you say the common is? Is it sweet or is it different? I'm trying to. I would say
different, not sweet.
Yeah.
You get like a lot of pale ales that they just put in some sort of like different flavoring adjunct, whether it be like orange flavoring or something flavored like that.
Beer, yeah.
It's just weirdness. Is
exactly
not necessarily sweet. There are some that are sweet, and I'm thinking particularly Parallel 49 puts out that one. It's a Black Forest porter. That one's pretty sweet, but that's a rarity.
Well, I remember a couple of years back when we did the cake, and I couldn't find it. I think I got something else, cake and was it a Nanaimo bar or something? I've forgotten. But there was a beer that we all had sweet beers, and I think we all concluded that it was like a really bad idea, because I think Dave, you had one of them too at the time. But the overly sweet beers just turns us off.
Well,
I think
I had the cake. So the cake was from Longwood in Nanaimo, and I actually really liked cake. Like, I thought it was a really well done beer. But that was, to me, that was a rare hit. A lot of those really, really sweet beers miss. Sorry, Lon.
I have no idea what I was about to say.
We were talking about sweet beers, I believe.
Okay, so just tangenting because I have the opportunity. So one of the things that I sort of have been noticing is the rise of baking as a metaphor for the beer that you're crafting. And
baking. Oh, okay.
I don't think it's marketing departments that are behind it. I think it's the brewers themselves. And here's what it is, because it's a double whammy. It's sort of like, okay, so can you get your maltiness to a point where it's like, it's graham crackery, while you get whatever, whether it's a chocolate, a coffee note, or whether it's a fruity cherry something or other. You know what I mean? Like blackberry sort of thing. Whatever it is, you're trying to craft lychee nut I've seen in beers through the breadths, right? Like you're trying to craft these flavors from chemistry, which is a mad thing to do. It's like an alchemist world to step into and go, I will make gold out of barley and hops. you know what I mean, right? And so you got like stuff like, well, that Nanaimo bar thing that we did recently.
Yeah.
But something that I'm just going to go ahead and admit that I did this. I bought one because I wanted to know if it was any good, because I wanted to know if we wanted to do it on the show. And then I had one and I thought, oh, wow, that was really good. And then I went with what I intended to do for the show, which was this one. Actually, the other one was more interesting because of this baking thing, right? Because what it was a sour cherry pie.
Oh.
Right?
Interesting.
Because the idea was that it's not just a sour cherry beer. It's sour cherry pie. So it's got to have that graham crackery element alongside the sour of the cherry. And that's a test of talent and skill for a brewmaster, the same way that sweet picking is for guitarists. It shows a level of commitment to the craft of brewing, that you can achieve that effect. Now, whether that's the effect that as a drinker I would want all the time, I'm cutting back on baked sweets. I was never really a super fan in the first place. But you understand why, if you were a brewmaster, you're looking at that and you're thinking, this is like doing trompe l'oeil if you're a painter. You know what I mean?
Right. But isn't beer brewing and baking kind of like, aren't they in bed together? I mean, really? I mean, you're dealing with a lot of similar ingredients. It's just how you're dealing with them, right? I mean, yeah.
Well, you're right. I mean, what is yeast to a baker? Yeah. At some and I've always sort of observed that there's the difference between Red Stripe is it's basically pickled water. It's just got enough fermentation in it to preserve it from other things. As opposed to a Guinness, which is sort of like breakfast in a liquid form.
Yeah,
it's the world's first smoothie.
Yeah, one of the first beers that we did on this show was one that Dave, I think, picked, which was a banana bread beer.
Oh yeah.
Which was from England. Now, I mean, wasn't really my cup of tea. But I mean, it wasn't a banana beer; it was a banana bread beer, and it certainly tasted like it. It tasted like banana bread.
I remember that. That was by the individuals who did what's the don't they do the ginger beer as well?
Was it
Krabby's? I think it was
Krabby's.
Krabby's.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, my point is that I think beer brewing and baking go hand in hand, and why we see so much baked elements in craft beer. I think it's an easy route for brewmasters to go.
I would agree. I mean, there's definitely a connection there. I mean, it's like the banana bread one. I mean, we've seen so many different baking related ones. I mean, but I don't know. I guess there's a line. There's a line on both sides. You don't want the beer to be too tart or too sweet. So
the question is, do you want your beer to be more like the baked good that it's supposed to taste like, or do you want it to taste more like beer?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you could just turn around and say like, "Hey, this beer matches or is matched well with this particular food." But you have this food,
here's the other side of it. How have you not heard of beer bread?
I have. We've made some here.
Their baked goods to taste more like beer.
That's true. We have done that here.
As a matter of fact, I think another way to look at all of this is sort of like that whole sort of area of human experience of consuming stuff with our, not just our digestive systems, but our senses, not just our senses, but also our digestive systems. And actually also our consciousness, because alcohol does crazy, awesome things. Too bad normal bread doesn't have alcohol. I guess could you imbue bread with alcohol?
Alcohol does crazy, amazing things.
You could not, because
imagine if you had a solid form of alcohol where you could eat it and get the same effect.
Right, but that's not. I mean, as soon as you bake the bread, then the alcohol is going to get evaporated.
You imagine there's certain baked goods that are like, no, like these baked goods need to be consumed with caution.
The only thing you could do is make like an alcohol infused jelly that you could spread onto your bread.
Oh no!
But here's the thing: what if you did something like Smarties?
Yeah.
Like Smarties and M&Ms and those, the hard shell candy, they don't melt in your hand, but the actual chocolate inside does melt. So what if we created like an alcohol containing baking item that you, at a certain temperature, it dissolves away and the alcohol is able to maintain, a non-evaporating kind of thing. I mean, that's Dave, get on that. We expect a prototype by next Wednesday.
Hey, what about, this is it's even seasonally appropriate and apparently very controversial, so this will be a good one. Christmas cake.
Okay.
Fruit cake. Because it seems like people, I almost don't want to say this, but people either love it or hate it, right? You get all these people like, oh my God, that stuff is just disgusting, gross shit, and I would never touch it. And then there's other people like, I'll eat this whole one, thank you much.
I'm convinced that there's only one fruitcake in existence in the world, and people
just gets traded around.
It just gets traded around. It's probably been around since like the 1700s, I figure. And yeah, I've had it a couple of times. I'm sure Shane's had it. Everybody's had it.
I'm all about the ossified, ancient, like. You have to use a knife and a hammer, or maybe
I learned a trick from my dad many, many years ago, because I remember we had this fruitcake that I think was accidentally left over from the previous year, and it was in the freezer or something. And so when Christmas rolled around, I remember him pulling it out of wherever it was and putting it into like a bowl, and then taking I think, was it rum? No, it wasn't rum. Brandy. It was brandy, drowning this frozen cake in brownie. This frozen cake in brandy, and then leaving it in the fridge for like 3 or 4 days. And that's what we served later on. And so it ceased to become cake, and it became, like when you take generally speaking, the way to do it is you bake it so that you have the alcohol there. But this was kind of alcohol to try and save the cake or something. Anyway, it was really good. I remember that, but I think it was because it was the booze, not the actual cake itself. But
was it good, or were you just so drunk you didn't care?
Christmas cake is one of those things where the object of any of the techniques, whether it's pouring brandy on it or setting it on fire, or any of those things, it's all about focusing your attention on concentrating, maximum evil. So it's like kryptonite. It'll.
It's like Sauron in Mount Doom, What are you doing there? Are you making another ring of power? No, we're making Christmas cake. I'm pouring my malice and hatred into this thing. And then, then him showing up at a Christmas party going, "Oh, I'm so glad you invited me. Ha ha ha, source of all evil. I brought cake." My God, I broke a tooth trying to eat this thing. I know, it's terrible. When Sauron is your...
Not a tractor beam? No, it's the cake.
Oh, for some reason, I thought, hey, he mixed Goldschlager in there. I don't know why that came to mind, but whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, so out of all the beers we've had over the years, let's bring in some other alcohol as well. Holiday specific things. Now, in your digging back into your memories, what was the best thing you've had around the holidays? It can be beer. It doesn't have to be anything else, but I'm just saying, what was the best thing that you actually have decided at some point, somewhere in your mind, you're like, I would like to do that every year because that reminds me of this holiday season. What would you... Anything come to mind?
Mulled wine.
Oh, mulled wine! I hadn't thought of that in a long time.
Mulled wine and ice.
I would have to look up the actual date because I've forgotten the actual date. But there was a particular Penfolds Shiraz that was like a famous year of wine. It's like $1,000 a bottle. I got to have some of that one New Year's, and that was... I'm not going to pretend it didn't taste like red wine. Tasted like red wine.
But in context of that,
what was most notable about it, and this is something which I think, if you stop and reflect on it, proves true in a lot of other areas. What was most notable about it was there was nothing particularly notable about it. It was just good all around.
Now, have you ever had that with like a $10 bottle of wine?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, the racket of this is the best wine in the world. Well, the best according to... Yeah,
well, it's funny you say that.
Was it good? Was it memorable? Was it interesting having the confirmation that the $1,000 bottle of wine doesn't taste like something other than wine? Was that as a reference point when valuing other things an important experience? Yes. Yeah. No. Look, there's all these elements to that moment, which. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So this is as good as wine gets. Tastes like wine.
Well, I mean, this particular beer here.
Wine is good. Tastes like wine. Wine is good.
Yeah.
Good is more important than best.
But this particular beer here.
Okay.
When it comes to price, you said I asked you about the $10 bottle versus the $1,000 bottle.
Yeah.
This was, I think it was $4.70 something cents before tax. Yeah. But I did actually have a moment where I was paying attention to the prices of some of the beers that I was thinking about, but then I wasn't. And then I decided not to for whatever reason, because maybe the label didn't strike me. Maybe the flavor advertised on it was not great to my mind. But I was actually realizing I was turning down like $8, $10 bottles or cans of the same size beer, and I went with like the $4 and whatever one. And I did buy another one actually that I bought was like $2.50 for the same size. Like, these are like $4.73. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious actually. I'll have to make a mental note of the beer I just had to what I will have next week, and I'll pick the cheaper one. But I did. It just struck me that when you're mentioning those two different price points, that I did actually pay attention this week and be like, I'm looking at the art. I'm looking at what it's supposed to be, and I remember kind of staring at the $10 and whatever one and going, yeah, I don't know if I want to spend. That doesn't strike me as something I'll enjoy. Oh, but hey, this one over here that I've never heard of is a little more exciting potentially. So, but then I realized I was picking the cheaper beer.
That was part of what I was pointing to, is that it's not the part that to get to sort of medium to high level of this is an interesting, good worth attention kind of beer or wine or other kind of drink. To get past that, it's not being more visible that makes you really, really great. It's getting rid of all of the distractions.
True.
It's finding your way to that point where it's like, this is going to be what I hoped it will be, because there won't be something about it that's going to drag me out of the experience. I'll be able to focus on it because that's the thing about aging, is whether we're talking about us or a beverage, it's like all the elements eventually have to interact with each other, and after they do, it makes the whole thing a little less wany, ranky. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, like Alan's girlfriend is here now, and he's enjoying her while doing the podcast. It's pretty good. I have not been able to move my right foot for a few minutes because my girlfriend is laying on top of it. Dory is very, very pleased about the positioning of my foot. Dave, where's your girlfriend? I've actually forgotten your girlfriend's name.
His boyfriend.
It's a boyfriend. Yes. Oh, well, even better. Oh, Alan's getting serious over there.
Oh, wow.
My dog is like 15 pounds. That dog is not, and definitely is much heavier.
Is a large dog.
She's got the puppy ears going on. She's like, I love me. I'm a lap dog. Well, Alan is gone from the show.
What? Who is that? Who's that?
That is what is that dog's name? I can't even remember.
This is Dash.
Dash, right. Dash is a year and a bit now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Dash.
Dash. Sadly, we lost Maya last year or the year before, and Dash has come along. And Dash is what kind of dog is Dash?
So Dash is a Husky Shepherd cross. She's a rescue from Nunavut.
Oh, so cute. Oh, no wonder she loves you so much. She's got that husky blood in there where it's like, I'm very loyal and I'll kill anyone who makes you angry. And now she's out.
Yeah.
She got bored of you. Bye. See you, Dash.
Oh, yeah, no, there were no... my other side here.
Oh, okay. But not Alan. Dave, what I'm blanking on your dog's name.
That's Max.
Max, thank you.
Yes.
Where's Max?
Not Wolfie?
He's somewhere. I don't know. He's probably hanging out with the woman. I would imagine.
I was just curious. Now, how have you? This is completely a dog thing. But when I was traveling this past week, I did for a couple of minutes, I did make a choice potentially to buy clothing for my dogs that were Santa themed. I eventually decided against it because I'm nuts anyway. But are you going to dress Max up at all?
Stand strong. No, he does have a Mr. Rogers sweater, but
Really?
it's gone missing. Oh, it's awesome.
He probably destroyed it. He's like, I'm never wearing this thing again.
That could well be. But he looked amazing in it, actually. And it really was Mr. Rogers. It was perfect. But yes, he probably did shred it so he didn't have to wear it anymore, ever.
I did see a dog today walking the dogs. I did see a dog with booties. That actually was the first time I've seen a dog walking without trying to figure out how to get them off. So that was interesting. I do notice in the background that Dash does have a stocking as well. So, we're getting to that age now. We're getting crazy. So Locke, you're the last one remaining. You're going to have to get a dog and just dress it up for no reason.
Yeah, well, my strategy is to get a girlfriend that does that for me. But
well, there you go.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved in the process.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoy this animal, and you take care of it. But anyway, on that note, I am really tired, and I'm still not quite in this time zone. But let's wrap it up there. And next week will be our pre-Christmas show. Because don't forget, boys and girls, Alan and I are going to be doing the 12 Days of Christmas, which will be running from December 25th all the way through January, whatever the hell, 6th, I think. Is that Epiphany? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Basically, we'll drink beer every day until we run out, and then it'll be over. Because the Advent calendars this year. Actually, speaking of Advent calendars, have you seen any new ones?
Seen any new ones? No.
No one's released any
ones.
But
I've been following the ones from Parallel 49, and actually they've been certainly better than last year.
Oh man, you mean so they totally? Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah.
There's always next year.
Not as good as previous years still, but better than last year.
All right. Yeah. Well, then we'll have to review them next year to see what they're doing. Sure. But as always, thank you, boys, for coming. Thank you, the 3 or 4 people watching this evening. Thank you for coming by. Don't forget to tell people about the show because, actually, no, we don't care. Just tell them anyway. And if they hate us or love us, awesome. But as always, Alan, take us out.